Welcome to Hedwigs Army. Hosted and produced by Josh Clayton and Trevor Feldner.
I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Hedwigs Army. I'm Josh.
I'm Trevor.
And this week we're going to be doing something a little different from the normal chapters. We're going to be talking about a specific character that has piqued a lot of people's interest, negative or positive. And she is part of the upcoming Crimes of Grindelwald movie. Of course, we're speaking about none other than Nagini. Those of you who saw that on the Facebook page already knew where I was getting with that. But, yeah, we're going to be talking about Nagini. Now, this was originally written by me for a solo piece. But I never was able to fully get it out. And I decided about halfway through writing it that this is going to be so much more fun if I talk about it with Trevor, because these tangents we can go on are going to be amazing. But
what I'm known for is tangents.
Yeah, well, we both are, but it'd be funner to talk about with somebody than to just give you all bland facts. So, before we get into that, as we do with every episode, we're going to need to issue a spoiler alert. I mean, that should be pretty obvious with the title of this episode, which will be Nagini. So Nagini doesn't even come up until the fourth book, so definitely major spoilers. It's impossible to avoid them at this point. So now that y'all are forewarned, it is your responsibility to continue or to back out now. But the next thing I want to talk about real quick, I'm not going to drag on about this, but we have been gone for a few weeks. Took a little bit of a hiatus, and we apologize for that. I know some of the listeners, some of you guys have reached out to me and told me what's going on, or asked me what's going on, and told me you're just excited to hear about the next. First of all, we got some very patient listeners, so we appreciate you guys being so patient. But yeah, we're back. We are back. I promise you we're back. Trevor got married. Woo! Congratulations, Trevor.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I've been sick. We've been working a lot of overtime, and again, we just haven't felt like we've been able to provide to top quality podcast, and we don't want to give you guys anything that's not 100%. So 110%. So that's what we're doing, and that's why it's been put off time and time again, because we wanted to be able to. We've been working on the formatting and the just everything in the podcast. We want to make it as perfect as we can at this point in our podcast career.
Well, and we want to also appeal to you guys as our listeners.
Yeah, of course.
We've been listening to your concerns and constructive criticisms. So we've been trying to adjust. Our chapter episode did run a little bit long, but it was a longer chapter.
Right.
And we felt that it deserved a little bit more, diving into the intricacies.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we're trying to shorten the chapter, or the episodes, but for chapters like we just did on Chapter 5 that we're releasing at the same time as this podcast, there's just so much to it. I mean, I can't tell you how many of my notes that I just cut out. I'm like, you know what? I don't need to talk about this. I don't need to talk about that. I don't need to talk about this. We still ran into an hour long, and it was insane. It was just so much. It was such a long chapter. It's like right when you think it's coming to a close, there's a whole nother thing that happens. So
and it kind of makes sense, though.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Considering the content.
Yeah, it's long. It's definitely two. I would say it's two chapters put into one. They drew out this chapter, which is fine. It all makes sense. But I'm just saying it's a long chapter.
Right, because it is his formal introduction
Right.
into the world of magic.
Right, yeah. It wouldn't make sense to switch it between two chapters. I'm just saying it had enough content in it to be 2 chapters long. So it's twice as long of a podcast episode, unfortunately. A little bit. Anyway, so as you heard in the intro, we've changed some things. Again, this is just to appeal to you guys, to appeal to us, and the less work we have to do on our end, the easier it is for us to get these episodes out at a consistent rate. And that's what we've been doing. We've been doing anything we can to cut down the back work, because me and Trevor work full-time plus overtime. And he's got a whole life, I got a whole life. No excuses. If this was my career, I would have 2 episodes a week. If I could stay at home all day long and just work on podcasts. But unfortunately, I can't. So any work that we can cut out in between episodes makes it so much easier to be consistent. We've cut so much out just by taking some simple steps that we've done. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but the point is, weekly episodes are here, back, and they are here to stay. And they're going to be shorter and better than ever, so get ready. Now, I'm going to stop boring you guys with my drawn-out voice here. We're going to get into, well, you're still going to hear my voice, but we're going to get into the Nagini episode. This is exciting, and the biggest reason it's exciting is because there's so much speculation, there's so much that we don't know yet that we might find out in, how many days are we out? We're 6 days time. We're 6 days out.
Well, because, like, the first introduction, like you said, was the Goblet of Fire. So... Yeah. And when we get introduced to her there, it's already kind of established she's, Voldemort's snake. Okay.
Right.
You take it at face value. It seems a little weird.
Right.
And a lot of people have been speculating for years, because it seemed like it was an interesting relationship that they shared, that the fact that, Voldemort would put his soul...
Right. And we're gonna get into all that. I don't want to jump too far ahead. You're touching on stuff that's in the episode here. So yeah, Trevor knows nothing about my little. Like I said, I wrote this for a solo piece. So he's just gonna. I'm gonna kind of go along. He's just gonna. I'm gonna go forth with what I wrote down. He's just gonna interject with some opinions. We're just gonna free fall this one. See what happens. It's gonna be fun though. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Nagini. The first, as we mentioned, the first time we see Nagini is in the Goblet of Fire. Now, Voldemort, in the Goblet of Fire, Voldemort orders Wormtail to milk her. Actually, you know what? Before I get into that, let's go over some Pottermore fact file of Nagini. Let's get into that first before I jump right in. So, according to Pottermore, Nagini's hobbies are doing the bidding of her master.
Sounds weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
And her death is she's killed by Neville Longbottom with the sword of Gryffindor.
Yes. Not gonna lie, that scene in Deathly Hallows, so worth it.
Yes,
So
Queen. So
freaking worth it, because it kind of showed the growth that we wanted to see in Neville.
Yep, and also yes, for sure, Neville.
It was finally him saying, I'm so
yeah,
done.
we get to see Neville be the Gryffindor he was always meant to be. But now it says here, it's obviously Nagini is Voldemort's faithful companion. Albus Dumbledore makes a statement. I think he is perhaps as fond of her as he could be of anything. He certainly likes to keep her close, and he seems to have an unusual amount of control over her, even for a Parselmouth. So it just kind of tells you, and as we all know, Dumbledore's word is basically canon. Like, that's what it is. I mean, Dumbledore's guesses are about 98% accurate. So, for him to say that, it basically kind of shows that, like, while Parselmouths might have snake friends, Nagini's more than just a friend to a Parselmouth. There's something more there, which, as we know, is the Horcrux.
Maybe we'll see something
Between them, yeah. I'm hoping so. And
maybe she doesn't completly turn quite yet. Maybe it's years down the road. Maybe
right. Well, yeah. I mean,
something happens.
I got my opinion. Don't worry.
I was just thinking.
Let's go over this. I want you to form your opinion. But I'll give you my opinion at the end of the episode here. But let's jump into. Well, no, I'm saying like your opinion about how Nagini becomes Nagini, the Nagini we know. That's what I have at the end here. What my opinion is. What I think is going to happen.
That she is.
Yeah. She was a snake after all, so can you blame her? Really? I mean, it's what snakes do.
Did she really have to go that far?
She goes full snake though. Well, it's not her fault. It's a blood curse. She doesn't want to be a snake, I'm sure. Maybe.
No, I'm saying when she attacked Arthur Weasley.
Oh, I know. It's just, but I can't really explain it. But I talk about it a little bit in here about what I think. So let's just get into this. Sorry, guys. There's something on my computer. Here we go. Nagini, again, first introduced in the Goblet of Fire, where Voldemort orders Wormtail to milk her, which Voldemort ingested to give him strength. Now, milking is not like a cow. It is taking, well, I guess kind of. It's not milk. It's not snake milk. It's her venom. So they're extracting her venom. But it's called milking. I learned that after the fact. I was like, okay, that's weird. I didn't know you can milk a snake, but yeah, it's basically extracting their venom. So he's drinking their venom, and I forgot why, but I'm going to look it up in a sec here. Nagini informs Voldemort that Frank Bryce is outside the door and then proceeds to eat Frank once Voldemort kills him. So that's our first look of Nagini. She gets her venom extracted, rats on an old guy, and then eats him once he's dead.
Creepy.
Great person. Great woman right there. Or snake, whatever she is.
Well, at the time we thought she was a snake.
From there, Nagini is kept by Voldemort's side at all times and eventually becomes his final Horcrux. In the Order of the Phoenix, Nagini attacks Arthur Weasley, as Trevor had mentioned. Nearly kills him at the Department of Mysteries. Again, that is all under the strict orders of Voldemort. So Nagini, as we can tell up until this point, does not really act of her own accord. She does what her master tells her to do, almost as though she's a servant. So that just, we'll find out maybe a little bit about that in the Crimes of Grindelwald, maybe, who knows. And then, a little while later, Nagini inhabits Bathilda Bagshot's corpse in the Deathly Hallows and attacks Harry and nearly kills him. But he kills him and Hermione, but they are able to escape. And her final act was the murder of Severus Snape. In the end, Neville ends up beheading the snake, Nagini, with the Sword of Gryffindor, killing her and ultimately destroying Voldemort's final Horcrux. So that's basically a rough summary of Nagini. I mean, I know there's parts I may have missed, but those are the important parts. Those are the important parts that we need to know. So basically, she serves Lord Voldemort as a servant. Real quick, though, I want to look up...
Oh, let me interject then.
Yeah, please do.
So it kind of like what I want to know, and maybe we'll get some clarification in this upcoming movie. One, how do they meet? Although maybe not so much in this movie, because I think at the time of when the movie is set, Voldemort or Tom Riddle is only a year old.
Oh god, I can't remember. Yeah, he's either not born or super young.
I believe he's a year old, so we won't see any how he gets to this. But maybe my guess is maybe he comes into contact with Nagini after he blames Hagrid for the basilisk stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
because that would make sense.
Well, my opinion, my thought is maybe, we all know that Hagrid is, freaking housed a dragon,
befriended
the blast-ended Scroots, the hippogriffs, Aragog. He is not scared of any animals or reptiles. So, what if, my thought is that somehow Hagrid gains ownership of Nagini after she becomes full snake. He keeps her around. I don't want to necessarily say he owns her, but he keeps her around. He like, what do you call it? Not capture, but like how he
Rescue.
takes care of her. He rescues her, takes care of her, and just like with every other creature, she grows on Hagrid a little bit because it's Hagrid and he takes care of her. However, I think once Tom Riddle becomes a once Tom Riddle comes to Hogwarts, he can speak parcel tongue. That's where they end up, ultimately meeting, and it's history from there. That's my opinion. Because I don't think people speculate that Grindelwald has something to do with it, or maybe Grindelwald or one of the people in the Fantastic Beasts are related somehow. They say Credence maybe is related somehow to Salazar Slytherin, and he's part of the Gaunt family, and he's parcel tongue, which isn't a horrible idea. I feel like that would just be stretching it. What makes more sense to me, what would be more likely, is somehow she ends up on or near Hogwarts property and
maybe
crosses paths at some point, or hears about a boy speaking parcel tongue and seeks him out, and then they become friends. Or the other way around, he hears about the snake and he's Voldemort. Maybe he, who knows? Maybe if Nagini's in the next movie as a woman, as a Maledictus, and she's obviously part of. You see her with the group, with Newt and Dumbledore and them, towards the end of the trailer. So she's not like off to the side. She's in the middle of the action. Like maybe once she turns full snake, people know about her. It's spread around Hogwarts or something about Nagini, the famous snake, the famous Maledictus. Maybe she ends up turning on them, tries to help Grindelwald. It's Tom Riddle. I'm sure he would find out about this, and maybe he seeks out Nagini. Knowing he's a parcel tongue, knowing that he tried to... Because, again, Voldemort's plan is basically picking up where Grindelwald left off, just in a more intense way. He wants to basically... they basically have the same goal. Is to be superior to the Muggles. Rise over. I feel like Grindelwald's more of a political way of doing it, and Voldemort has a more of like an army, like strength, forceful type of way of doing it. But I feel like they have the same goal. So if he finds out that Nagini was trying to help Grindelwald, then he would want Nagini on his side.
Maybe, yeah.
And if she was, who knows? Maybe because she's a Maledictus, she's more powerful, or maybe she gets to keep her memory, so she's able to communicate everything she remembers from her life, her human life, to Voldemort. Who knows? That's what I'm saying. I think that the possibilities are endless, and we won't know until we actually see it happen in Crimes of Grindelwald, or in the Fantastic Beasts series. Right. But that's my take on it. A little early. I was planning on doing it a little bit later in the episode, but I think that's my take on it. But who knows? Who knows what route they're going to go with?
I would totally find it interesting, though. I totally agree with you. It'd be interesting to do it that way. But I'm thinking it'd be interesting if maybe they went the route of maybe he seeks her out after his time with the Basilisk, realizing he can talk to snakes, control snakes. Maybe that's where he gets,
right,
more interested in things like that.
Could be.
Because that's a great way to, it's a crappy way to gain experience, but also a good way for him to kind of learn where his limits are. And
right.
Maybe he learns how to combine nonverbal magic to force a contract with her. Maybe there's an unbreakable vow.
Maybe.
And maybe that's why she can't go against, because if she does, she dies.
Yeah, the only problem I have with the unbreakable vow theory is she's full snake at this point. I don't know if a snake can be subject to an unbreakable vow.
But she is a Maledictus.
True.
Which is a person who turned into an animal.
Right, that is true, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm just saying that would be my first scene flaw with that theory, but I don't know. Like you said, we don't know enough about Maledictus to know yet.
It could also go with the Horcrux theory that I've heard thrown around, that maybe she's kind of like Harry in the sense that like she has two souls.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking something along the lines of that too. But my thought is maybe since she turned into a snake, maybe her soul is not as powerful as a human's. So Voldemort's out. I mean, yeah, I don't know. The possibilities are really endless at this point until we know. I mean, there's so many things it could be, but all we do know is that Nagini is a Maledictus, turns into a snake permanently, and becomes Lord Voldemort's faithful servant. All of the other thing is, all the in between is just guesswork.
Right.
But I've read some really interesting theories out there about it, and
I mean,
it'll
we
be
know
interesting
how
to
she
see.
becomes the snake. It's just
Yeah,
how does she
the
go
blood curse.
from like what's the turning point where she stops being human,
Right.
becomes full snake, and then
Right.
how does she go from that
to
Voldemort?
servant, yeah. And the other thing is, we see her in the Crimes of Grindelwald trailer. It looks like on the good side. So where does it go wrong? Again, trailers can be very deceiving. It could all just be just the right shot at the right time. But from what it seems like she's on the side of good. But who knows? Maybe they're held capture there, and she's the one holding. I don't know. We'll know in 6 days about that. But it'll be interesting to see because I don't know what their go is from here, but we'll see. Anyway, so moving on a little bit here, back to just what we know about Nagini. Voldemort and Nagini, as Dumbledore mentioned. I mentioned they have like a special connection. Now, here's some information that we've kind of gone over a little bit, but I'm going to kind of recap on it. Some information that we have about Nagini. The first most obvious piece of information we have is that in the final trailer of Crimes of Grindelwald, it is shown and it is revealed that she is the Maledictus. A lot of people thought that this was going to happen, myself included, and it's really refreshing to see, although I know there's been some outrage with her race or whatever, and with tampering the story or whatever, but I mean, if you're a Harry Potter fan and you want to stick to the core 7 books, 8 movies, then that's fine, totally fine. But you have to remember, this is still canon. This comes from J.K. Rowling, so you can't be ignorant to the fact that this is canon, whether you like it or not. It is what it is.
Kind of like
Cursed Child.
Yeah.
Yep. Unfortunately, she did say it's canon. You have to go with it. There's not much you can do about it. Again, you can choose to ignore that part because it's after the series. You don't have to. Usually, it doesn't change anything within the actual series permanently.
Unless she adds something.
Right, unless she adds something later down the road. But I'm saying what we have right now for Cursed Child, it doesn't permanently change anything in the main series line, so you can ignore it if you want and write it off. But you can't deny the fact that it is canon because it came from the writer's mouth. Same with all of the Fantastic Beasts series. She works on it with them, and she says it's canon, so it's canon. So she is a Maledictus. A Maledictus, for those who do not know, is a carrier of a blood curse which will ultimately destine them to transform permanently into a beast. So basically a human that can transform into an animal via a curse, but will eventually become the animal permanently. This is proven when she's shown in a cage transforming from a woman to a snake, and we assume back into a woman. Right. I mean, it's not outright said. It looks like she's in a circus. It's not outright said that she can change back and forth between a snake and a human, but unless they happen to just capture her the moment she permanently turned into a snake. Actually, I don't remember if it said that she can transform back and forth, but we see her transforming into the snake. We hear Credence call her Nagini. It's pretty obvious what's happening at this point, unless the writers really, really, really somehow throw us for the loop with the trailer somehow, which I've seen happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think she's the Maledictus.
Also, something I've heard about Maledictuses are usually they're female.
Oh, yes. Yep. Yeah, I forgot. I did not write that down, but I do remember that.
You can be a guy.
I don't think you can. I think it's strictly for females. I'm pretty sure. I did remember reading about that. I did not write it down, though.
So, not to go into too much science, but maybe it's a recessive gene that both your parents have to have this blood curse.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
Maybe men just don't show the ability to turn into
Right.
the
I
female
kind of
side.
want to look that up now because I think I did read something about that and I should have wrote it down and I didn't. I done messed up, Balake, but that's okay. I will look it up in a second here.
And it's not always a snake. It can be
Oh yeah, it could be.
any number of things.
Yeah. Maledictus. Let's look it up. Let's do it right now. Why wait? Blood curse slowly transfers. An animal to be clear maledictic is distinct from an animagus. A wizard turns into an animal at will. So maybe she can't. I don't know if she can turn out well.
I think she can, but eventually she will become a snake.
Oh yeah, it says this. Nagini does have control over her transformation in the trailer. That her character knows a full transformation is inevitable. So she can transform at will, but the difference is she will inevitably become the snake. And just something I read here. J.K. Rowling responds to a tweet. Tweet says, "So Maledictus is predestined to be evil. They are born that way," kind of speak. And J.K. Rowling kind of gives us a little hint that that might not be the case, that she's evil. She goes, "No, not at all. The slow transformation into a beast is beyond their control, but they aren't destined to be evil." So is that just her being very informative about Maledictus, or is that a little hint drop that maybe Nagini doesn't start off being evil? Maybe she's not evil altogether. Maybe she has no choice but to become the servant.
We actually get a hint at another Maledictus, but I believe it's in the Cursed Child in the form of Draco Malfoy's wife. Is a Maledictus.
Is she?
I believe so.
I don't think so. I think she has a blood curse, but she's not Maledictus.
You can always look it up.
I'm going to look it up. Don't worry. Another tweet. Sorry, I don't mean to sidetrack all these tweets, but these are actually really good for our conversation. It goes, so would lycanthropy, which is turning into a werewolf, be a strain / branch of Maledictus, or is it its own thing entirely? And here J.K. Rowling says there are different conditions. Maledictuses are always women, like Trevor had said, whereas werewolves can be either sex. The Maledictus carry the blood curse from birth, which is passed down from mother to daughter. So it is in their genes. It can only be women, so it can only be passed from mother to daughter. And it's the blood curse, as we said.
Not to get like crazy weird, but like, what if, say, you were a Maledictus, but you were a hermaphrodite?
Okay, you're getting way too far into it. That is no. I'm not even. I can't. There's too much. What was I gonna look up? I forgot. Oh, yeah. So I'll look it up at the. I'll look that up at the end. Draco's at the end of the episode. I don't wanna.
I was just thinking it'd be an interesting idea, like concept to bring up to.
Yeah, but I think that I don't want those conversations. I don't want those conversations. That you're getting nowhere there because it'll never be answered. But I mean, it's an interesting theory to think about what would happen. But maybe we'll make
also, I want to know
maybe
why
that becomes a theory episode. I don't know.
What I want to know is why is it only women? Why can't men?
It's something in the women's DNA. DNA.
Unless maybe, especially maybe with Nagini, that maybe her lineage is based off of, I can't remember, I know it's in Greek mythology, the three sisters who share the eye. If somebody remembers, like Medusa kind of deal. But like in Medusa's case, she just grows hair. Maybe she's the first person to be cursed with being a Maledictus, and it just like kind of from her
I wonder
goes down the line, and maybe like anybody who has the snake form of the Maledictus curse is from her line. Also, it says it's passed down from mother to daughter. What would happen if somehow a maledictus who had transformed into a snake or some other creature, when they had children, if they could still have children, would their children, assuming it's like a female, would their daughter automatically be a snake? Or would the child be human and then eventually turn into said beast? I know, it's a little weird, a little deep, but just something to think about. Like,
okay, I did find something. Thanks for going on a tangent for me. I found something on Astoria Greengrass / Malfoy, which is Draco's wife. So, she died from a blood curse. So a maledictus is a witch or wizard who suffers from a blood curse. One form of this affliction, referred to as a malediction, had been inherited by Draco Malfoy's wife. But Astoria died from the blood curse in August of 2019. In book time, obviously.
Yeah.
So a couple that brings up a couple things, and we can't get into this. Maybe we'll do a maledictus episode in the future because we can't get too far into this. But it says one form of a maledictus. So first of all, Nagini doesn't die from the blood curse. She dies because she gets her head chopped off. So it's I don't know. So and it says she is a maledictus, so that's true. But is a maledictus only referred to somebody that can turn into an animal? Or will turn into an animal? I'm going to do more research. We can't get into this right now. I'm going to do more research on that. We're either going to have an episode or have it on our Facebook.
Because this
somewhere.
is an interesting thing.
This is a Nagini episode. We can't get into too far into the maledictus stuff. But it's really, oh my gosh. I'm excited. I'm really excited. That's super interesting.
Actually, speaking on getting back to Nagini, maybe we see why she becomes evil. Maybe the transformation, because there is that gap between, obviously, Voldemort is like very young, probably within a year old, when we get to see her in this movie, and like he doesn't really like show his true colors until he graduates. Out of Hogwarts.
He is super sneaky and.
So like he's 18, 19. So this is almost 20 years after the fact, and maybe somewhere along the line, maybe in this movie or the next movie, which might be like a couple years down the road, maybe we see that she's completely transformed, but because there's so few Parselmouse in the world,
right,
that it drives her insane.
Yeah,
and her insanity.
That's literally part of my.
Because I've heard people talk about
down
it. It's not something I came up with. It's just something I've heard from people, people who have made theories on what would have caused her to become the way we see her in later books. Right. If it is the same Nagini, because I've heard.
No, I think it's the same. I think that's the same Nagini. Oh, that could be interesting.
Or Nagini's daughter.
But I don't think so. Because I also read, real quick, a little thing that maybe Astoria Malfoy was Nagini's daughter. But I can't get into that right now because that's opens a whole web of things up. But we will get into it, don't worry, just not in this episode. But
which brings back my thought process to become a human.
Yeah.
After the fact.
But, so, here's the thing though. Well, going back to what you said, my speculation, I already went through it basically earlier. I'm not going to go through it again and bore you guys. But I did have it written in there. It's literally written somewhere in this paragraph. I can't find it off the top of my head. But I did mention, maybe she was good. And then during while this is happening in Crimes of Grindelwald or right afterwards, maybe she permanently turns into the snake because I don't know the time frame or how long it takes or what. And maybe she just at that point, maybe they're like, you know what, we can't talk to her or else she's a snake. So they start saying, they dip on her and she's by herself. And we all know what loneliness can do. Not talking to somebody for a couple days can drive people insane. Now we're talking if she hasn't had contact with a human until, and if she keeps her, let's say, I don't know how it works, but let's say she keeps her human mind.
Which is
Now if
something-
she doesn't have contact with another human until Tom Riddle is in, at least in Hogwarts, that's at least 10, 11 years, that you had no human contact. Unless
Right.
speculation wise.
Even more if it's saying that like he had to, because I've heard theories that Voldemort met her in the Romanian forests.
Yeah. Oh, I've heard that too. So it could be even longer. It's at least
right.
10, 11 years. At least.
It could be upwards
Could be 30
of 20,
years, yeah.
20, 30 years. And
But she's had no human contact. And maybe that just drove her insane that she would do anything for anybody, like, just to get some type of human. And here's the thing, too. It's not like Voldemort's stupid. He's a very slick, sly guy. He's very charming. So maybe, she runs into this guy 20 years later, not talking to any humans for so long. It drives her just to the point where she will do anything just to have contact with a human being. And he's super charming. He could just suck her in to the point where she can't get back out. And she's just like, whatever. I'm already here. It is what it is. I mean, we know, I'm not saying, and that's the thing, I'm not even saying I would blame her at that point, it's a dog-eat-dog world. You gotta, I'm not saying she would be in the right, but she's also a snake, so it's not like, what, if she doesn't do this, no one's gonna praise her. It's like, what is she gonna get? Probably killed if she doesn't do it, because as we all know, anyone that turns their back on Voldemort doesn't live to tell the tale.
unless you're Harry Potter,
Unless you're Harry Potter, but it's not like Voldemort did not try to kill him, But that's my point, Maybe she just got wrapped up. It's like a gang. You join and you don't get out. You get in, you don't get out.
Right.
Alive. So it's like, what is she going to do? Is she going to leave this guy to go not talk to anybody for 20 other years? Or is she going to be this guy's companion?
Also, because if, say, it's the 30 plus, by the time we get to see her as a complete snake and basically under Voldemort's complete control, she's pushing, God, almost 90 years old.
Whew.
Because she's
True.
about 20
Yeah.
in 1920 something.
That we know of. She could be even older and just look great for her age. We don't even
Right, I'm assuming
just
she's like,
speculatory, yeah.
assuming she's about the same age as Newt, and Newt's got to
Right,
be
right.
like
Yeah,
at,
and I've heard
like,
some other theories, not going to jump
at
into, but
oldest
yeah.
like 25 maybe, 26. So we're talking
Well, I think
like,
he's younger than that. I think he's like somewhat fresh out of Hogwarts. Like, I think he's barely out of
so
Hogwarts.
okay,
I think.
then-
I don't know for sure. I just think.
So it's between 20 and 25, say.
Yeah.
And then that's in 1926. Fast forward to 1980, that's 60 years. She's already pushing.
Well, actually, he got expelled from Hogwarts, so I think at 16.
Yeah, so she's pushing
Yeah.
probably in the range of like,
Which I can't wait to find out
Six.
why, if they tell us.
she's pushing almost 80 by the time, Voldemort kills, the Potters.
Right.
And then another, so she's pushing
No, yeah,
almost
she's
a
old.
century old.
She's super old. And I wonder how long they live for.
I get it.
I
That,
wonder
like,
if Maledict does have like a longer lifespan.
well, and it's stated that wizards live longer.
Right. I get that, but
But then
I wonder-
why wouldn't, other people that we know that have said condition or a similar condition
be dying off. Yeah.
Right. Is
Yeah.
there something that
Like
maybe
a story of
he offered
Greengrass
her?
is dead. Probably at 40 years old. I think it's said somewhere in there. I'm not going to pull it back up, but yeah, probably 30, 40 years old, gone.
Well, and maybe
From
that's what he did.
possibly the same blood curse. We don't know. We will know. We don't know right now.
Maybe
I'll look it
that's. I know I keep bringing up the unbreakable vow. Maybe he makes a deal. He's like, "I'll be your friend if you go kill somebody."
Yeah.
And after she kills somebody, she can't really turn like splits her soul.
Right.
And she can't go back.
Yeah, the only problem I have with that is it's just not Voldemort. I don't think he would go to that extent. He would just be like, "You're mine now, and if you don't do what I say, I will find you. I'll kill you."
But it seems like he.
But he also seems fascinated by her as well. He also seems very.
It seems like they
It doesn't
almost
seem like
see
she's
each other
just.
as equals.
Yes, it doesn't. It's not like she's worm. She doesn't. Wow. He doesn't see her as he sees Wormtail or as Death Eaters. You can tell just from the way they interact, the fact that he makes her a Horcrux, even though everyone knows you don't make something living a Horcrux on purpose. He makes her a Horcrux and all that stuff. Like, I feel like he's also fixated on her, so maybe it's a mutual thing. Maybe they just are fixed, maybe they're both fixated by each other. Fascinated by each other.
Obviously, Bellatrix, like, because he has a kid with her or whatever.
Yeah.
But...
Or at least has something for her.
Right. Other than that, like, Nagini is seemingly the only person he ever puts even close to his own level.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, I mean...
And maybe that's because...
Bellatrix was a good assistant, but Nagini's like a co-owner in his mind, I don't know, that's what it seems like at least. If he had feelings for anybody or anything, it would be Nagini. If he had actual feelings for any person or thing, it would be Nagini.
I just really want to see, like, how do we get there?
Yeah, me too. I can't wait.
That's going to be the interesting part. I mean, seeing her transform, that's going to be cool, but we kind of already know that, like, this is an eventuality that she's going to turn into the snake. She's not going to be able to not be Nagini the snake. Right. So it's like, how do we get there?
Yeah, that's why we're here. For speculation. We're coming up on 40 minutes, so I'm gonna say let's call it where we're at. I think we had a great conversation about this, and hopefully on November 16th we can make a video or reaction video to this, kind of clearing up some questions we have. I mean, hopefully we get a lot of information. I'm hoping so, but I feel like they're gonna store a lot of it. I think there's gonna be a lot of cliffhangers and Crimes of Grindelwald. I hope I'm wrong, but I know how. I know how these films work. They split Deathly Hallows into 2 parts. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know how Warner Bros. Is. They like to make you come see the next one. And I don't blame them. That's part of business, but hopefully,
Well, and sometimes it comes out better that way.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but it's just annoying. I just want to know. But hopefully we get some questions answered. Hopefully some of our speculations are right, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned. We are planning on going to see The Crimes of Grindelwald in theaters this Friday or Saturday, this weekend at some point, and we're going to be making a video, a little vlog while we're there of our before and after reactions. Our before thoughts and after reaction. So that's going to be exciting. And we're also going to be, as we said at the beginning of the podcast, we're going to be releasing our chapter episode at the same time this is being released. So if you haven't gone listen to that, go listen to that right now, because it's awesome. It's a little long, but there's so much. It's so fun. We had so much fun making it. There's so many things in it. Trevor, no, you loved it. Anyways, with that said, check us out. iTunes, TuneIn, Podbean, CastBox, Stitcher, YouTube, and Google Play under the podcast section. Go check us out there. Go like, rate, follow, subscribe, whatever you can do to help support the podcast. Rate us on iTunes. Make sure to give us a rating and a review and a star rating. Otherwise, it doesn't. Something with iTunes, it doesn't go in the right way. So you gotta leave the review. Doesn't matter what you say. Hopefully, you guys can leave us a 5-star rating. If not, please let us know why. Let us know what we can do to improve your star rating to 5. What are we doing that does not earn us that 5-star rating? I'm not saying we're perfect. I'm not saying we can't improve on things. Definitely can, but we just need to know what it is, people. So
we always appreciate the feedback.
Always. We don't... Look, if you want to say anything at all, your breath stinks. I'm kidding. You wouldn't know that. I mean, if you do, then I'm very sorry. That's very strong, bad breath. But whatever you guys... Stop it. Whatever you guys tell us, we're going to take it. We went on a whole hiatus to just re-improve the podcast for you guys. I mean, that was a little bit on us too, the length, but we wanted to reevaluate, step back, and kind of get a fresh new start here. So, and obviously Trevor got married, pointing to his ring over there. But we take the creative criticism and we listen. We don't just toss it in the trash recycle bin. We listen. So please give us any feedback you guys can. Give us that star rating, hopefully 5 stars. Like, rate, review. Subscribe anywhere you can. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Comment on the videos. Check out the videos. Then comment on them. Also like them. Do whatever you can to support us. We appreciate it so much. It means so much. If you want to get a hold of us, where are they going to get us, Trevor? Okay, they're gonna get the Hedwigs Hedwigs Army podcast at yahoo.com. It's our email. We're on Twitter at Hedwigs_Army.
Or our website.
Or our website. We're also
at
on
hedwigsarmy.com.
Yes, it is, because I got it wrong in our last video. Hedwigs Army Facebook page. Again, if you don't remember any of that, you're like, I cannot remember where they are, where their podcast is, I can't remember how to contact them, hedwigsarmy.com. Everything you need and more there. You can comment on the website. You can send us an email from the contact section. Or there's on the homepage, or I think it's on all the pages on the header, there's links to Facebook, Twitter, iTunes, everything. All of that and above, except for Google Play. I haven't added that yet. But if you listen to us on Google Play, we appreciate you a whole lot. We've had a lot of trouble getting you guys going, so we appreciate you a whole lot. All right, enough rambling. Thank you guys for listening to the Nagini episode, the first ever character episode of Hedwigs Army. And until next time, mischief managed.
Every great wizard in history has started out as nothing more than what we are now. Students. If they can do it, why not us?